What's up, guys? This is Greg Rice from the Great Dads podcast and the Art of Communication podcast. And I wanted to thank you for your interest in the Great Dads program and just tell you how much I appreciate that you're striving to be the best dad that you can possibly be. I'm a father of 5 myself, and I know how challenging it can be and how in need of resources we all are to be a great dad. So I want to take a few minutes and share with you why I'm so passionate about this, but also why the program is so powerful. But I want to start with a couple statistics that outline why it's so important in the first place. So if a child feels closeness to his father, strong closeness, he's twice as likely to go to college or find stable employment, 75% more likely to not have a teen birth, 80% less likely to spend time in jail. On the flip side, higher levels of father involvement are really heavily correlated with confidence, high self-esteem, and self-control. So no question that fathers are incredibly important to their child's lives and to their futures. But the problem is most of us have no idea how to be the dad that our kids need us to be. You know, the world that they're growing up is so incredibly different than the one that we grew up in that it's hard for us to know how to connect. And on top of that, we have so many other responsibilities, it's hard to find time to spend with them, let alone how do we make the most of that time. And then a lot of us carry baggage from our own childhood, broken parenting models, and things that impact us emotionally that hurt our relationships with our kids and the way that we deal with them on a day-to-day basis. And I want to tell you when this all became so real to me, how important it is to have a deep relationship with your children. One of my children came to me one day and told me that they were having some really serious suicidal ideation and that they had actually started cutting themselves. And while that was heartbreaking to hear, I thank God every day that they had the courage to bring that to me, that we had the kind of relationship that they felt comfortable in telling me that before things got a lot worse. Because if they're not talking to you, they're talking to somebody. And if they're not talking to you, you don't have the influence you want to be able to have over the situation. So we were able to find her the help that she needed, and she's now in a tremendous program and doing really, really well. But it highlighted for me the importance of that relationship, and that's why I developed the Great Dads program. I mentioned before I have 5 kids. 4 of them are internationally adopted. 2 are from Guatemala, 2 are from China, and then we have our own biological daughter. But the 2 from China came home as older kids, didn't speak any English. We brought home older kids on top of younger kids. We just created a ton of situations that were challenging to be able to communicate and connect with our kids through. So I've learned a lot through that process, and that's what I want to share with you in the Great Dads program. What I learned about how to be a great dad, coupled with communication principles and fundamentals that I've learned over the years. Because communication strategies are powerful to connect with anybody, but are even more powerful when being applied to connecting with your kids. So let me share with you the core of the program and how it all comes together. There's really 4 main components to it. The first is I want to spend some time highlighting for you what a great dad looks like. What does great parenting look like? What should that North Star be that we're trying to get to? And we're never going to completely get there, but it's always going to be the vision that we're aspiring to. But none of us are perfect, right? The second bucket I want to walk you through is a focus on yourself. I want to help you better understand yourself and how you tick. Why do you parent the way that you do? What sort of things are underlying from an emotional perspective that are hurting your relationship with your kids? What sorts of broken parenting models might you be bringing from the way that you were raised that are not serving you well today with your kids, and how do we start to fix those? But also, what is your personality? How do you process information, and how do you think? Because a third bucket I want to get into is your child and how do they think? How does their personality work? How do they process information? And I want to juxtapose those 2 things against each other so that we can start to see where there's gaps and where there's commonalities, right? Maybe you're both visual, and so it's really easy to talk visually, but maybe you process information really quickly and they process it slowly. So maybe we need to slightly adjust the way that you're talking to them when you're communicating with them. And then the 4th piece really brings it all together. And it focuses on mastering interactions. The goal here is to increase our balance in our emotional bank account with our kids. And we do that by having really solid, positive interactions with them. The challenge, though, is that for every negative interaction, we lose 5 good interactions. So we have to constantly be putting those positive interactions in to make up for the negative interactions because it depletes really quickly. But the higher that emotional bank account, the better relationship you'll have with your kids and the more influence you'll have over their lives. So that's the core of the program. Along the way, I also like to teach you two key skills. The first is really powerful. It was a game changer for me, and that's nonverbal communication. So helping you read things like micro expressions, body language, and tonality, and being able to read your kid regardless of what they say, because the words aren't always truthful, but the body is always truthful. So I'm connecting you with some of the most powerful nonverbal communication training available online today, and I'll be plugging you into that. The other piece is mindfulness, right? Creating the space within your own mind to be able to see what's triggering your emotion, feel the emotion, but choose a different act, right? Because so many parents I talk to know how they should parent, know how they want to react in certain situations, but they lose their temper in the moment, right? We all fall a victim to it. I certainly did a lot when I was younger as well. And you have to build that space in your mind, that mindfulness, to be able to choose a different action, to be able to stay calm no matter what's happening. Then you take control back from your kids, who today they know just how to push your buttons, and you kind of blow up, and then they control the situation. You don't. So the mindfulness piece is a really important component. So the way that it all comes together is there's weekly modules and lessons and practices that I'll be assigning to you. There's weekly coaching sessions, one-on-one coaching sessions with myself that'll be customized to you, and we'll be taking a look at how you're progressing, answering questions that you have, but also working on specific things unique to your situation. There will be weekly exercises from a nonverbal communication perspective, weekly mindfulness exercises, and then there's also a powerful component of a therapy called REM therapy. And this is part of what helps us get at those emotional underpinnings that are impacting how you parent your children today. It's extremely powerful. It had incredible impact on me personally and my relationship with my kids. So that's it. That's what it takes to transform your relationship with your kids in just 8 weeks. And if you do the work and do the exercises and come with a commitment to work on yourself, I guarantee you'll not only have a better relationship with your kids, but also with everybody else in your life, especially with yourself. So if you're interested in learning more, go ahead and click the link below and schedule a 10-minute call with us to learn more about the program, learn more about your goals and what you're trying to achieve, and help to start to see if this program might be a good fit for you. I hope to talk to you soon.